The iPhone 16 is almost here. So mark your calendar for September the 9th, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're here in Central Time like me, it'll be noon. And this is going to be one of the bigger updates, I think. Maybe not so much on the outside, but on the inside. And well, it really kind of irks me because it's a bit of a cash grab, just like we've seen with other products in the past, because we're supposed to be getting Apple Intelligence and iOS 18. But the problem with Apple Intelligence and iOS 18 is it requires 8 gigabytes of RAM, which only the iPhone 15 Pro series phones have. Not even the iPhone 15 or the 15 Plus. So there's going to be kind of a delineation where the phones split off, where you have the older phones like the iPhone 15, the 14 series, 13, 12. All these phones are going to continue to be supported, but aren't going to get all these cool Apple Intelligence functions, which of course we'll get to see at the event. And basically, it's going to force a bunch of people to have to upgrade if you want any of that stuff. And this has been kind of a different school of thought. Of course, it's been what Apple has done for years. But when you take a look at what Google does and what they've done with AI and how they've retroacted some of that, and when you take a look at the Samsung phones, what they've done with Galaxy AI, and they gave it back to the S23, S22 series. So it's a different way of doing business, and it's going to force a lot of people who are interested to have to upgrade, even if they've only had a phone for a year or two. But we're going to see the new A18 Bionic processor, I believe is what it's called. And it looks like, from what I'm seeing in the leaks and the rumors and all this stuff, that all the phones are going to get it. And of course, we'll have a minimum of 8 gigabytes of RAM. So that means that the iPhone 16, the 16 Plus, they won't be left out in the wind, even though they don't have the better cameras and the more pro features that the Pro series phones get. So this is going to be a new course. And for the longest time, we've always heard, oh, Apple doesn't need all that. Apple doesn't need all that. They don't need 8 gigs of RAM. They don't need 6 gigs of RAM. They don't need all that. Well, now you do. So that whole way they've done business for so many years is going to screw a lot of customers. And for what? So they can make more money. And that's just, of course, the Apple way. And of course, there's going to be a lot of people in the comments and, oh, well, of course, businesses are supposed to try and make money. I get that. But they've known for a long time that this is coming. That you don't just wake up one day and decide, okay, we need 8 gigs of RAM and we're going to do AI. We're finally going to do AI. Like, the writing's been on the wall. They've been working on this for a while. So they knew when the iPhone 15 came out that they were going to push this. And it's been pretty well known that you need at least 8 gigabytes of RAM. And even with 8 gigs, when it comes to Google and like the Google Pixel phone, we ran into problems with them trying to run stuff like Gemini Nano on the phone, where it created even problems for the Pixel 8 this last year. So, yeah, I think it's a systemic thing that they've done where they planned and built up to this so they can be like, hey, we haven't been able to get people to upgrade with just a camera. We haven't been able to get people to upgrade with just titanium. So we'll dangle Apple Intelligence over them and be like, oh, sorry, your phone's not compatible. And then, your friends will have the new phone and they're like, oh, look at this cool new feature where I can erase stuff, or I can, take something out of the way and make what looks behind it like it's supposed to be, magic, all that stuff. So, that's just one thing. But I mean, it is an exciting time of the year. Heck, I was looking at the numbers, and I think it was like 200 something million iPhones were sold last year. Don't quote me on that, but it was a lot. I had to pull up on my phone earlier. They sell tremendously more phones than Android sells, especially the United States. I mean, Android still has the global market share, I think, by a little bit. And I think there was a little bit of a shrink in market share, especially in certain Asian countries like China. But by and large, Western world, the United States, love them some iPhones. So I don't want to try and make this all negative, because I mean, iPhone, it does a lot of great things. People like them. And of course, they've got the integration with RCS now, so you can text and you can communicate better with your Android counterparts. So I'm glad we have that. And we'll see what else we get out of it. There's supposed to be a new color, and I've been seeing stuff floating around on the internet. There was one that looked like like a bronze color or copper, and it looked like, quite frankly, poop. It really was not good looking. But I've seen two or three other shades that have come out since then. So by and large, we're looking at probably losing the titanium blue model. It's going to be some sort of a gold or sand or brownish color, which may be all right. We'll see. It'll be the probably color to have this year. It'll be the exclusive one that they didn't change out, because it looks like, from what I've seen, we're still going to have a white color, still going to have a silver color, still going to have like a black color phone. And that's in the Pro series. The regular series, they'll have some different colors and stuff. But yeah, it's an exciting time of year. We only get iPhone stuff once a year. It's not like we with Samsung, where it's like, okay, Here, January, we got the S24. In July, August, we've got the Z Flip and the Z Fold and all the other phones in between. It's not like Google Pixel where it's like you get the A series during the summer, a couple months later, now we've got the Pixel 9 series. So they put all their eggs in one basket, one phone launch, and then they have it in September. It's like clockwork. And people who don't even care about phones know this. The lady that's been cutting my hair for forever, she gets a phone every couple of years, but she's like, oh, hey, do you have the new iPhone? The new iPhone's coming out in just a couple of weeks. I'm like, no, I don't have it yet. Apple doesn't send me phones. They'll never send me phones. And that's quite all right with me. But it's one of those things where people who don't even care about them know that September is iPhone season. So I'm looking to see what kind of stuff happens out of it. We're expecting them to have the 5 times telephoto that was only in the Pro Max, and that really irks me. Like, I've got the 15 Pro Max. It got the new 5 times telephoto, but the iPhone 15 Pro kept the previous generation 3 times telephoto, and that's just another reason people want to upgrade. So that kind of irks me. I don't like how they have this disparity where it's like, okay, well, it's 99, 98% the same, but we don't put the extra in there when the Pro series are supposed to be equal. It's not like they have a Pro Ultra. Like the Max is always just, it's a larger version of the Pro. It's not that it's special in most ways, kind of like we get with the S24, S24 Plus, and then you have the Ultra. So we'll see what happens there, but September the 9th, it'll be interesting. I'll be in Europe still because I'm going over there for IFA in Berlin, which is their big electronic show and cool stuff over there. So maybe I'll have some things to report back about stuff that's happening there, especially on the Android front. I do have a surprise phone that you'll be getting to see a video about once it launches during IFA. So that'll be cool. Something a lot of people have been asking for a long time. Finally able to pull it off. I can't talk about it, but hey, maybe it'll be something exciting for y'all to stay tuned for once it comes to the first week of September. But yeah, I will get the new iPhone. I'll do my traditional vlog, go to the store, picking it up, and try and make it fun and entertaining and show it off. I buy the iPhones because I do cover them a little bit, and I've covered a little more Apple products this year than I think previously, and some folks seem to care about them. So if you like the Apple content, let me know in the comment section if you want to see more of it, and I'll see if about incorporating some more of that stuff. But I'll be getting the 16 Pro Max probably. Last year I got the 16 Pro or the 15 Pro and the Pro Max because I like the Pro size phone. I like the smaller one. And I've got the Pixel 9 Pro XL here. I actually have the 9 Pro pre-ordered and it's going to be here. It'll be waiting for me when I get back from my trip. But I like the smaller series phones, and that's one thing I've always appreciated about Apple. They have the two different sizes of their Pro series phone, the Pro and the Pro Max. And I'd really like to see Samsung follow that route this next year. iPhone's done it for a long time. Now we've got Pixel doing it. I think Samsung needs to have like a Pro or an Ultra model that's smaller so you can have a more appealing phone for a broader audience. So if you don't want this giant phone, you can have a smaller one. Also, this is the UAG Pathfinder case. They sent this out to me. I'm a big fan of the Pathfinder series. I've used them previously before. It was one of the only cases I would use a long time ago on my iPhones. I like the Pathfinder series. UAG, they make some good stuff. They're just pricey. But anyway, I'm going to cover the iPhone 16 Pro, Pro or Pro Max. I haven't decided. I might go ahead and buy both of them and see which one I decide I want to keep, and then probably give the other one to my wife or do something with it. But yeah, I will be covering it. I will cover the event afterwards, and I don't know, maybe I'll make another video as we get closer, but it'll be interesting. I like to see the new stuff, and they've been leading the way with the satellite connectivity things, the SOS messaging. Now you've got more built out satellite messaging. We're going to see that with iOS 18. I've been using the iOS 18 beta, and I haven't used an iOS beta in years, but I like that they have the different coloration stuff now. You can change things up. You get a little bit more customization and some new features. So I'm interested to see how that goes once we get the full implement of that. iOS 18 will be rolling out after the event as well, and September 9th will be the event. A couple days later, they'll have the pre-order. That's what they always do, and then probably, I don't know, a week or two after that, they'll be available. But I will let y'all guys know as more information is available, and let me know if you're excited. I know most of my audience loves Pixel stuff. You love Samsung, you love Android, but I know I've got some fans out there that like Apple stuff. So let me know what you're excited about. Are you looking to upgrade? Do you think this Apple Intelligence thing is a cash grab, or do you think it's kind of still useless? Do you think it's still gimmicky? And this is their first stab at it. Like Google and Samsung have been leading the way with AI in the Android world for the last year or two, and nothing but crickets in the Apple camp. So they need to show up, make a splash, and they need to do something to show that, hey, we're here. and we're going to have some useful AI. So it'll be interesting to see what their take is on it as well, as opposed to what we've seen with Android this whole get go and what we get with the Pixel phones. And then as we get Android 15 here, well, after the iPhone launch. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, gripes, complaints, if you've got anything to say negative about my shirt or my hairline, of course, go to the comment section. If you enjoy the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys next time.